building that online reputation is super important because, if you're a smaller company, they're going to look at the business page, but they want to know who they're hiring to come in to do the work. Everyone Facebook stalks. Like everyone's going to search your name and they're going to see what comes up to see who you are.
No more burnout, no more fear. We'll build it strong, make it clear. Not just a grind, but a dream that's true. Building a business that works for you.
My next guest is a familiar face here on the Builder's Edge, and that's exactly what we're talking about today, the power of showing your face on your business and in your business. Eamon Mettinger, founder of Home Healer Handyman Service, is back for another conversation, and this one's all about visibility. Eamon's built a reputation for being authentic, trustworthy, and present, not just in the homes he repairs, but in how he shows up online and in person. Too many businesses in the trades still hide behind a logo or a truck wrap, wondering why they're not getting calls. But as Eamon's learned firsthand, when you put a face to your business, you put trust behind your brand. And today, we're unpacking exactly what happens when you start showing up in your marketing, on your visit videos, and in your community. He's also one of the first to start using my new CRM, the Client Edge, built specifically for contractors and service-based business owners who want to manage relationships, reviews, and visibilities all in one place. Eamon, welcome back. I'm excited to dig into this one with you.
Absolutely. Super excited to be here. I just want to start off by just thanking you for the work that we've been doing together. I think that the Client Edge is amazing. Like, it's going to take so much workload off my plate. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't pay him to say that, by the way. Okay. So let's start right in. Eamon, I love that you wanted to come back on the show and talk about visibility. I was about ready to do a solo, and now I don't have to because you want to talk about the same thing I want to talk about.
Awesome.
What made this topic stand out to you though right now? What's been on your heart about helping other business owners show up?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I've been noticing is just a lot of people, like you said, they hide behind the logo. And if you go online and you're searching for anybody local, it doesn't have to be a contractor business, but any business, you go to their page and you just see a logo and you see maybe some product or something like that, but you never see faces. And, or if you do, maybe it's just a static image of somebody. But what I would like to really kind of dig into is just putting yourself out there with a little bit of short video content, because I think that people really connect when they can see you, hear you. At that point, they feel you. They're convincing themselves that they want to go with you based on hearing you. So that's kind of what gets me excited about this topic.
Yeah, me too. Okay. You said it before that once you started showing up your face or showing your face, things changed. Can you share an example of how incorporating video content changed the way your clients saw you and maybe even influenced their decision to work with you?
Yeah. So the thing is, like I said, when you put yourself out there and you get in front of the camera, even if it's just a little 10-second video clip, when people can hear you and see you, it really dials them into who you are. Like it just kind of, allows them to kind of get your essence of who they're going to be working with and who they're choosing. And so there's a lot of guys out there who it's their businesses might be suffering because they're not showing up in front of their potential clients. And so they're missing an opportunity. They're just putting text out there. For me personally, yeah, it's just getting out there and shooting just little quick videos when I'm on site, and just giving the pre-clients the opportunity to kind of meet me before they decide to go with me. So
it's perfect. Yes. Excuse me. You're working on even, or you and I are working on even getting this video messaging right off the minute they hit your website, and getting that and some video testimony, because video makes such a big difference.
It does.
Okay. What kind of impact did you notice even in leads or trust, or even how people responded personally to you?
Yeah, what's really interesting is when I go back and look at the insights on my content. And I'm primarily going to be talking about Facebook just because that's the main platform that I use. Just because that's where the entire world is at. There's like 4 billion people on Facebook. So, when
Yeah,
I
it's
go
a
back,
smart move.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
When,
no-brainer.
when I'm looking at the insights and I can go back, historically over the last year, 2 years and look at the insights of my content, the content that had the most engagement, that had the widest reach, the biggest impact were all of the video clips. And so, we do before and after photos, we do some text, we do some reels, some shorts, things like that. But what I'm finding is landing the most and getting the most engagement and the widest reach is literally just the video clips. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy or big. Some of them are just little 10-second clips.
Yeah, and some of them are about a boo-boo or a mess up or something big that you had to tackle. People know that businesses and life like this is not all hunky-dory, all perfect.
Right.
And they want that shows more authenticity. I really think it does.
Absolutely.
Do you remember your first video you made where you thought, okay, this actually worked? What kind of feedback did you get from your audience and community then?
I have to think back to when I very first started. Boy, that's a good question. I've shot a lot of videos, so I'm trying to think what the first
You
one
sure
was.
have. But yeah, I mean, it has paid off. You have just, I don't mean to sound just, of course, but for somebody who's in your business, which is a sea, you're in an ocean of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in 2 years in business, you are really killing it. You're knocking it out of the park because of this. So, I just wondered if maybe there was one turning point or one video that really stood out that you thought.
I would say, I think that honestly, I think the ones that have the biggest impact and the one that's probably the scariest for anybody who hasn't shot video yet is to go live. Because I mean, when you go live, it's like you're kind of exposing yourself and you're like, what if I screw up, But honestly, I think that since we're getting into this kind of AI world where everything is becoming digital and the content's becoming digital and in a sense becoming less human, I think when you go live, it kind of breaks that barrier for people because they're now realizing that you're not just a page that popped up overnight, that someone's pushing, video content out or photo content that's not real, and they feel like they might be getting scammed. As soon as you go live, they're like, "Oh, this is actually a real person." And then they kind of then they start following and kind of loving your content. So, I think and like I said, that push and play, that the first 10 times you go live, your heart is just beating out of your chest because you're just so nervous. But honestly, if you just get the reps in, it's just doing reps, just getting, just start out small, do a 10-second video where you're just like, "Hi, good morning. I'm having my coffee," just make it real, whatever. And then as you
super simple. Yeah.
Just keep it simple. And then as you go, your confidence builds. So
actually, the first time I went live, I said, okay, I went live talking about going live and teaching about something. So, you can even do that. If you could go live on your next project and you say, this is what we're going to do on this project. And I'm going to be, let's just say some intricate piece of that. Let's say, you're remodeling a kitchen and you have to reposition some main, water lines or make some, big moves in it, or anything that, is going to spark attention. It doesn't even have to be big, really. They watch anything.
Yeah.
And just, tell them, say, "Hey, I'm doing this remodel, or I'm doing this backyard oasis, and I'm going to, we're going to go live and I'm going to show you how I actually connect the final connections." So just let that first one to get those jitters out of there be just a simple talking about going live later, even, and
just talking, just being excited about what you're talking about too. Just, it's like, you don't have to do a whole long thing. It can just be something that you're excited about the day, and you're showing up on the job site and you're excited because, if you're a builder, it's like, okay, we're going to be putting the trusses up today. You can go live in front of the trusses on the ground and be like, we're so excited, we're going to be getting these trusses put up today. And, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but it's
Doesn't.
going live and it makes you human.
It does. And then the icing on the cake of everybody seeing you is, like you had told me that Facebook loves the algorithm. The algorithm goes crazy and Facebook says, yes, this person is authentic. They're in business. They're making human connections. And that's what Facebook and all these social media things are about. So then it pushes your stuff out even more and more and more. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
when you start making that original content, you'll also get, after it's like 30 days or whatever, Facebook will even send you a little thing in your inbox that says, "Congratulations, we've increased your reach because of the content that you've been putting out there." So like they notice it, and then they're going to push you out in front of a bigger audience. So there's a lot to that.
There is a lot to that. And that's a good feeling when you've started out and you've started from scratch and you've just been out there and just putting yourself out there and you're thinking, oh, is this working? And then all of a sudden Facebook does send you that, say, hey, you're doing a great job. We're going to show more people. And they do. They open that up and you'll get that periodically. That'll happen over and over and over again. So a lot of contractors just rely on static photos and text though, Eamon. How do you think using short video clips can set that contractor or builder apart and create more personal connections with the client?
Yeah, and just kind of like to reiterate what I said about being in the AI world, I think that it just making you human, it will push you up in the algorithms because like you said, Facebook, Google, like all the platforms, they reward you for video. If you think about our culture right now, and we're in the shiny object culture, like we have like you have 2 seconds to grab someone's attention before they scroll past.
Yeah.
And if your post is static, if it's just words, if it's just a logo, if it's just a before and after photo, stuff like that, you're going to get scrolled past. But if you have movement, you got a little video in there, people don't want to just see the content, they want to watch the content. And so if you can throw a video on there, it's going to stop the scroll, and the algorithms are going to be like, okay, we grabbed this person's attention for more than 2 seconds. They watched it for maybe 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 30, whatever the case is. And that's just going to increase the audience that they're putting you in front of.
Good point. So let's talk about, I do have some statistics about this. 82% of consumers are more likely to trust a company whose leadership or owner is visible online. Another one, people buy from people, and faces in marketing images increase click-through rates by 45%, having your face on there. Video content featuring your business owner can raise brand trust by 3 times, boom, instantly, than faceless posts and faceless videos and content. Another one, the number one reason customers don't hire a trades business online is they can't tell who's behind it. They can't tell whose business it is. They can't tell if it's local. They can't tell if they've just swooped in and running some ads and trying to get some business, temporarily. They do that now. Companies will, come in, somebody will go door to door, making the sale or planning the remodel or planning the redo. And then somebody swoops in that's not even from the community or anything. Okay, hold on to your britches for this one. Humans process faces 60,000 times faster than text. That means your face connects before your words ever do. So if your customers can't picture you, they can't prefer you either. Okay, so let's talk about overcoming some of that fear there. A lot of business owners hide behind the work because they don't want to be judged or they feel awkward on camera. What advice would you give the, other builders or contractors who might feel a bit camera shy about starting or creating video content?
Yeah, so think of it this way: your video that you're creating, if you're just using your smartphone, which is really all that I use when I'm out on the job sites, it just goes into your camera roll, and nobody has to see it. So just practice. Just turn the camera on and just start taking video, and you don't have to post it if you don't like it. So just getting in the reps, getting in the habit of doing that, then it just becomes part of your job. So like for me, for instance, when I show up on a job, I take a before picture of what I'm going to work on. While I'm working on it, I'll set my phone up in the corner or whatever, and I'll do a hyperlapse, maybe to show like completion. If it's a quick project, I can show completion in like 3 seconds, or a longer form video. And then you can go back in later and do the editing and stuff like that, which is I can get into. It's real simple. There's a lot of free tools out there, free templates out there that you can use to create the content. But
Right.
just getting in the habit of doing it, and then realizing that you're the only one that has to see it if you don't like it. So just get in the just practice. Just get in the habit of turning your camera on when you're working.
Okay. So there was a time you were hesitant too, or a little uncomfortable, and you just pushed past it. Just pushed past it by just doing lots of content, lots of stuff, and just leave it on your phone. And, kind of maybe if they just kind of kept an eye out and paid a little bit more attention to other people's what other contractors and people are putting out there, then maybe they can say, well, I can do at least that good. Like you said, it doesn't really have to be A plus. The more realistic and the more human it is, really the better it goes. Mm-hmm. Okay. So like we talked about before, the trade industry doesn't always start from a place of trust. People have their guard up with contractors. Why is that face the fastest way to overcome the bias?
Because they get to see who you are as a person, and as long as you're a good person, it just gives you a one up on the competition. Because, like I said, if they're going to buy into a company and they don't know who's behind that company, there's going to be that hesitancy there. But if they can go to your page, go to your website, whatever, and they can hear you, they can see you, they can feel you, like that trust gets built before they even pick up the phone. And that honestly takes so much pressure off the sales team, because like now we don't really do sales for my business, but I'm just buried in leads because I'm putting content out there. People are watching me work. There's getting to see like, okay, he works clean. Like they can see in the video that there's not a big mess around.
Yeah.
And then they get to hear you. It just, I don't know. It just makes you human, and humans like to connect with humans.
Yeah. And, there's this thing, like I was telling you the other day, that it's a phenomenon, but it's like when people have their favorite actor or actress and they see them on TV, and then they'll start talking about them just like they know them, just like they know their personality, like they know them personally. They don't know a bit more anything about them, but because they've seen their face and they've made this connection, they really believe they know this person deeply. It's just kind of a phenomenon. And you mentioned to me the other day too about you had went into a home and the homeowner, somebody you had never met. Tell us about that, about how he reacted to you.
Yeah. So we showed up to this house, and I had one of my new guys. It was his first day with me, and we walk in the door, and the very first thing she says is, "I love your content. Like I love watching your videos. I've been following you for the last couple of months, and just like everything you put out there it's like I'm learning stuff, and it's fun to watch." And so like right off the bat, the first thing she says was about our content. And so just the impact, like I said, just the impact that you can make through simple content like that. You don't know who you're reaching, but it is leaving an impact on them.
Yes, it definitely left an impact on her, because she acted like you were her long lost bud, and she's just so glad to see you again.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have put together something very special for you. I want you to apply the FACE principle. We're going to use those letters, FACE, the FACE principle when you're thinking about that, to keep it simple. F for familiarity builds trust. Know that. People trust who they recognize. When your audience sees your face consistently, not just your logo, they start to feel like they know you before they ever meet you. Then A, authenticity attracts attention. The fastest way to stand out in a sea of ads and noise is just to be real. Real people connect with real faces, not perfect graphics. Don't try to get that perfect ad out there. They want that face out there. C, credibility is visual. A faceless business feels sketchy, like we talked about. When you show up on video, on your website or on your Google Business profile, you're signaling, I'm here, I'm accountable, and you can trust me. If you'll go to your Google Business profile out there, everybody, and notice every other business in that first photo will have a picture of the outside of their office. They'll have a picture of something in their business, some picture. Throw it out. That's where you want your face at. First square in that picture of your Google Business profile. Start there. Engagement increases with emotion. Humans are wired for faces. People are 38% more likely to stop scrolling when they see one. Video posts featuring you get up to 400% more engagement than text or photo posts alone. So let's talk about showing up online, Eamon. If someone's listening, has never posted a photo or video of themselves, where do they start?
Yeah, so I want to kind of get into like the personal branding side too, because you have your business page and your branding for that, and then you have your personal profile. And building that online reputation is super important because people will, if you're a smaller company, they're going to look at the business page, but they want to know who they're hiring to come in to do the work. Everyone Facebook stalks. Like everyone's going to search your name and they're going to see what comes up to see who you are. And if your personal profile is, showing things that maybe, that are divisive or something like that, if it's getting political or if it's, if you're just partying all the time or whatever the case is, that's going to negatively impact your business. I think showing up in both spaces is super duper important. But yeah, I think that personal brand is something that, is a good first place to start, is to kind of go in and kind of just clean up your page if there's things that you're posting that are divisive. You just want to put your best foot forward because you don't know who's going to be looking at your page and who's going to, hire or not hire you because of it.
Absolutely. Now, if you're a business out there, listen to this. This is very important. I just did a podcast about it not too long ago. If you're a business out there and you're doing the traditional paid ads, there's nothing against paid ads, but it's not like it used to be. It's not, people aren't following down through that funnel. They're not listening to your ad and jumping right on it. No, they go and look at all of your stuff because they have information. They have always had information at their fingertips and they've got all of it and they know they've got all of it. So they go and look you up. So you can have the most beautiful looking ad and your money dumped into it, lots of money. But if that social and all that platforms, your visibility doesn't align, then you've wasted your money, really. They're not going to be believing you. They're not going to be trusting you. They're going to go on. And then how we're talking about these little videos. I talked about how Google research says there's a messy middle that people play in and fiddle around with your stuff and look at multiple things before they actually decide anymore because they don't know who to trust. They have access to everyone. It used to be you saw a little sign in the yard and then you found out about somebody, or you had to thumb. I'm telling how old I am, but you had to thumb through the yellow pages, like you used to. Not anymore. That's long gone. And people know it. And the people that are hiring you right now have always had this resource. So you have to go clean up the whole picture. It's a whole picture, the whole thing. Otherwise, you're wasting your money on those other things. Okay, let's talk about balance between looking professional in videos, but still coming across with authenticity, approachable person.
Sure. So with that, I guess being authentic is just being who you are. Don't try to be anybody that you're not. Don't try to, be this shiny, polished, perfect version of you because that makes you like not as human. But your professional look goes everything from just the way that you're showing up on camera, but also like the environment that you're creating in your videos too. Are you on a job site where there's just trash everywhere and boxes everywhere and everything's just a mess and chaotic, or are you actually, working clean and you're showing that you're working clean and whatnot? And I guess for me that I'm in the handyman space. And so I'm going into people's living spaces. So that's a little more important than maybe like a contractor who's doing like a new build or something like that. But still, I think that
I can
I think
speak
that
from that
clients
one.
are going
Yeah.
to basically hire you based off of that too. Like guys that are considering to hire you to build a home, they're going to look at that and be like, oh my goodness, like look at that the front of
Yeah.
this house. There's just stuff everywhere. Like just keeping that stuff in mind.
No, I can speak for the builder. When they come to the job site, they don't want to look like it's a tornado hit it. They want it to look like you've got your stuff together and you're organized and you're making things happen. Plus, they drive up to a horrible construction site. If they're building in a community, they're like, "Oh my gosh, my HOA is going to be calling." I know, or all my homeowners, the neighbors are going to be, they're worried about their neighbors already, and they haven't even moved in. And then if you're like a contractor that's subbing things out, whenever a subcontractor, when we've hired them and we go in and we can't even tell that they've been there and except for everything's done, is much more effective than when we go into a subcontractor who left us all the mess. It means
Yeah.
so much. Yes. So yeah, you want to keep it neat and clean. That is one of the biggest things. They want to know you're going to do the job right. You're going to show up on time. You're going to be in budget, and you're going to not make a disaster out of their homes. This is their sanctuary. This
Hmm.
is their refuge. You're right. Okay. So authenticity versus perfection. You're great about being real online. Your family, your faith, your humor, and even the messy stuff. How has authenticity helped your business grow compared to trying to look so polished and perfect?
Right. Yeah. I think just being authentic that's really what sells over trying to look perfect. 'Cause, we live in a filtered world. Like everyone's got filters on their face when they're taking pictures and things like
Yeah.
that. So I think just showing the realness of you, like it connects on a heart level with people. You in that point you become just one of the family members that that they can identify you with somebody like, oh, that reminds me of my uncle, or that reminds me of my brother, or whatever. It just makes you a real person, and I think that just goes a long way.
Absolutely. And that identifying with you is that connection that they want to make and
Hmm.
that sets you apart for sure. When your face is familiar, your business becomes just the default choice. And then it doesn't have to be for necessarily working with them. Even you become more of somebody that's in their mind because they've seen these videos, seen these reels. So when the neighbor says, "Oh my gosh, I just bought this, gazebo, but it's got to be put together," what? Well, then they're going to say, "Hey, I see this handyman all the time. You got to call him. You got to call home heal your handyman." And
Yep.
that's how they do. They even talk about you, even when it's not, their decision. They're sharing what they've seen and that
Yeah.
connection they've made. Okay. So even through the tough days, actually attracts better clients. Is that what you agree? Even through those bad moments,
Yeah.
does that
Yeah.
go ahead? Does that attract the better client?
I think it does. I think it really, because we all have good days, bad days. So I think that even showing the messy days where things just aren't going right, as long as you're approaching it with maybe a little bit of humor and humility, because we're all going to have those days. And so I think it just showing them how you react and how you handle those situations is important. And you can convey that through video. Like if something's going wrong, just roll with it and just laugh at it, and just it's just one of those things where it's just like, yep, this happened, but it shows them how you react. And if someone's going to hire you, they don't want to hire the guy that's just going to be blowing up and all angry and yelling and frustrated and all the things. But like if you can just take a bad situation and just be like, well, yeah, I guess we're going to be dealing with this, and just roll with it, like I think that's going to go so much further.
It is. Yeah. And now I know this, doesn't apply to any of my listeners, but just in case, don't be that video that says anything like, this client wasn't happy and then this is how we handle it. Leave that part out of it. That's like leaving the politics off your page. Leave that part out of your social, right?
Yeah. As long as you're providing the solution to, or showing the solution, like here's what happened, but here's what we're doing, or here's how we're going to handle this. Like if you're coming back with a solution to it, and people are like, oh, okay, like that, I like the way that they're doing
Problem
that.
solver. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And visibility isn't vanity, it's credibility.
Hmm.
So,
Yep.
and actually in today's world, showing up is the new selling. It
Hmm.
really sells for you, right? And
Yep.
it piles your lead pipeline full, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, we talked a little bit. You said about a smartphone. Is there any other equipment or tools that you feel are necessary to start making these videos?
No,
Anything?
honestly, just keep it simple. Like I try to keep it as simple as possible. So, if you look at my content, a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's really cool. How'd you do that?" It literally is just a smartphone. I take video on my smartphone and I use pre-made templates. Like you can go into Facebook, you can go into TikTok. There's what is it, Canva?
Mhm.
There's all or not Canva. I'm sorry. What's the other one? Um, anyway,
Instagram.
there's yeah, Instagram. There's pre-made templates, and all you got to do is just go in there and click on these three videos or photos, whatever, and it puts them together for you. You just choose a little bit of music if you want that on top of it. Like it's really simple. I would say on average, most of my content takes me 5 to 10 minutes tops to make, and I usually have it made before I even pull away from the job site. So
Oh,
as soon as
wow.
I yeah, as soon as I leave the homeowner, I sit in the truck, I put my content together, send it off, and then I leave, and it's done. So
Wow.
keep it simple. I mean, you can go if you want to get into the higher end stuff. I mean, obviously, you can hire people to do more of like professional type video for like testimonials and whatnot. We'll be actually shooting that today. You mentioned that earlier. We're shooting the video today, and I have a friend who has a media company, so I hired him to do some more professional type video for that landing page.
Yes.
But you don't need that. If you have a teenager in your house, like they can create content for you very simply.
Yeah, they're really
Just
good
say,
at it, right?
yeah, here's my pictures, here's my videos, have fun.
Right. Okay, you've started using my new CRM, the Client Edge. How did tools like that make it more simple to manage like the relationships, the follow up with clients, and keeping your business visible even when you're busy?
I am super excited about this, and I'm glad we went live with it Monday with our first AI employee. So really, yeah, that's going to be huge for me because I'm a solopreneur, wearing all the hats in the business, and so I mean, having that AI employee is going to be awesome for me. Like doing the follow or not the follow, but like when the calls are coming in, if I can't pick it up and it goes to him, he's going to be able to just get the information, get the pre-client, get the contact form to him to fill out. And then I'm really excited about all the follow up to get people booked. And that's going to take so much off my plate. So I'm really, really excited about that.
So tell me about this. What did you think about how quickly it became like your right hand man on the phone?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually, I was a little nervous because it happened so fast. It's like we had it up and trained in like a week and a half, and we're still going to be training it, obviously.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, it happened so fast. I was like, okay, like I, I was a little nervous at first because it's something new. But you know what? If we don't adapt to the changes that are coming, like we're going to get left behind because there's going to be other companies out there who are using these tools and they're going to be getting way more clients. We're going to, so it's just you have to adapt and change.
Yeah. I'm excited about putting together your SMS campaign.
Yeah.
We'll get you approved to do your SMS, and then, you're going to be able to just send messages. Hey, it's fall time. I think you had an idea. What was your idea we were going to do?
Yeah, so we're going to have like a maintenance program. So we're going to do like you can do a monthly, quarterly, biannual, or annually. So depending on what the services that the homeowner needs, if it's something that's seasonal, like we're in Nebraska, so we get all 4 seasons here, and so we're coming up on fall with all like the weather stripping jobs. So to have your AI employee send out a text message to your existing client base saying, "Hey, we're running a promotion now to keep all the critters out of your house this winter. Let's get that weather stripping booked." Like we can train our AI to reach out to those clients. And I tell you what, if you need to fill a calendar, like if you have any gaps in your calendar, you can turn that thing on for a week, turn it back off, whatever you need to do. Like
Yeah.
it's going to keep you booked.
I love it. I'm excited about it too. And I'm so excited for you. Yes. Okay. So what's one habit that helped you stay consistent? You talked about coming straight back to your truck and posting.
Mhm.
Now you're going to have the ability with the CRM to post for up to 30 days. Is that going to free you up and maybe change that habit a little bit? Tell us about your habits to make it consistent, whether it's posting the content, managing follow-ups, or keeping track of your client communication.
Yeah, I think it will change with that, and I love that I get to schedule that stuff out now because if I can literally sit down and maybe take, I don't know, 1 day, 2 days, and those will be my content days for the entire month. Like that's going to be huge because then I don't have to even it's not even on my radar other than just capturing the video when I'm on the job sites or the pictures while I'm on the job sites. So, but yeah, basically, just making it a habit of every single job that I would go on. Step one, take a before picture of whatever we're working on. Step two, take short video or hyperlapse video of you doing the work. Step three, take your after photos. Maybe, and then also another one I like to do is just do a selfie, keeping your face in front of the audience. Take a selfie with the work behind you. So a lot of times when I'm doing it, I'll take, if I'm doing for example, like a door, I'm doing I'll just use weather stripping again. I'll take a picture of the door showing light coming around it. I'll take a hyperlapse of me pulling out the old weather stripping, putting the new weather stripping in, take an after photo of showing that there's no light coming around the door. And then I'll do a selfie where I'm just like thumbs up, like standing there and the door's behind me. I just got 4 pieces of content out of one job. So you can sprinkle those in now with using the CRM and scheduling the stuff out.
Uh-huh.
I can take those 4 pieces of content from one job and maybe do one a week for those. So maybe that'll be my Monday post each week. It'll be the before and after, then it'll be the video hyperlapse, and it'll be the selfie. But if you do that with every job, you can stack those up. You're going to have so much content that you can just schedule out, and it's just off your plate then for the rest of the month. So I'm really excited about being able to do that.
Yeah. And then what's nice with the CRM is if somebody's out there and they are trying to do all the platforms or they're on all the platforms, you can just rotate that stuff. So it looks like you've just got masses of content, but you've got the same 30-day content, but it's just rotating everywhere. It's good. Yep. Okay, let's talk about this. What do you think would happen if every tradesperson started posting their face and telling their story the way that you do? How would that change how people view the entire industry?
It's a really good question. I think that would change a lot. I mean, I think that would take a lot of the stigmas out of selecting a contractor, because you know who you're working with, and honestly, like what you're putting out there, that's giving everybody kind of the look at who they're hiring right up front. So that's a really interesting question. I think that would be really awesome, honestly, because it's making it human again. It's putting us before AI. It's putting us before possible like phishing or fraud type content. Yeah. When you do videos, when you're doing lives, things like that, and if everyone's doing that, you're making a human connection. So I think that would be really cool. I think that would kind of revolutionize the industry, honestly, as far as sales and marketing goes.
I do too. And I think those fakers, they would have to give up.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't compete anymore. Yeah. And honestly, I think this is the way of the future. So if you get on board now, because you're going to have to sooner or later, I just really feel that way. They're going to have to. Otherwise, they're going to get weeded out by those who do. Really, it's that simple. So get on board now so that your content is more organic. By the time they've caught up, you're already, like Eamon, you're smoothing right along and already got the majority of the crowd, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so let's see. Let me ask, how can contractors use video not just for marketing, but for like education to their clients to build that trust also in the sharing useful tips and insights?
Yeah, it's really important, especially like I said, for being in Nebraska, being a seasonal state. Education is pretty big, especially this time of year. As we're getting down, I think we just hit our first freeze warning last night,
Oh my
and so we're
gosh.
getting close to the day, where I'm gonna be pushing out content of like, okay, everybody, I'm gonna be doing a live video of unhooking my garden hose outside because you don't want your pipes to freeze if you have that hose hooked up. So I think just using video as like an educational piece is huge. And really, people like homeowners like to learn stuff about their home. So that way they might not even have to hire somebody if it's something simple that they can do. But if you're kind of being the leading expert on that, being the pro on that, like that just gives you more credibility, gives you more authority in the market for that area. So the education piece is huge. And the other side of it is you have education, you have entertainment. So if you can keep it light, keep it funny. Like I always, one thing that we like to do is at the end of some of our videos, we'll have like a blooper. So like as I'm shooting content, maybe me and the guys are building a gazebo and something funny happens or whatever, like I always put that towards the end of the content. And so when people are watching the content, they get used to like watching it and then they know there's going to be something funny at the end. It holds them on that piece of content longer, which again bumps you up in the algorithms because now you got through play, which is a term that they
Yeah.
use. If you can carry their attention for longer, then Facebook, YouTube, all the platforms are like, okay, we're gonna put him in front of a bigger audience. And I even had a funny story. I was doing a pocket door fix. They couldn't close their pocket door because it was like stuck. And so I got the pocket door out. I looked back and on the floor there was a little chunk of something. I was like, okay, well, I started pulling it out. I grabbed the piece of trim and I'm pulling it out and I'm like, wait a minute, I need to take a video of this. So I literally pushed it back in a little bit, set my phone up, and I'm just scooting this little piece of something like towards the camera and pull it out. And it was just a little piece of OSB, which I think was probably it was probably stapled on the back of the pocket door and it just fell off and then it got stuck underneath the door. It
Uh-huh.
was just that stupid little piece of OSB board is all I was doing. That post went viral. I had, within a day and a half, I had 100 or 1.5 million views.
Oh
And
my
so
gosh, it did
like,
go
and
viral.
it was the dumbest little video. Like I still to this day just laugh because it's literally a nothing video, but it went viral. And what that did is for my Facebook page is that took me from I think I had like 800 followers. It took me up to 4,000 followers
Oh
overnight.
my gosh, overnight.
Overnight. So
Overnight. I
it
saw
doesn't
you were
matter.
4,000.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying with that is like, it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. You can just take a video and put it out there. You don't know what's going to go viral, what's going to hit.
No,
Like
there's no
I've
clue.
tried reposting it on other platforms to see if it would carry the same, and it did better. It got like 28,000 views on TikTok and different things. But like you never know what's going to land
You
or
never know.
when or where. But when it does, I mean, that greatly increases your visibility because now when you have that many followers, that platform is also saying like, okay, this person's putting out good content if they got that many followers, and then they push you in front of more people. So you just got to get the reps in. You don't know what's going to land, but once it lands, it will definitely increase your following.
Absolutely. Step after step after step is all it is. One
Yep.
step, next step, next step. Okay, so I think it'd be a great idea. It could be kind of like a trademark that you mentioned. Like if you're showing something at the job site, and then let's say you have a crew. Maybe you do some slightly goofy picture of the crew at the end of each little clip, and the people will kind of see that, and then they'll be more apt to look through the full content to see that little happy day on the job. A lot of times, like you're from Nebraska, I'm sure you go in, you do your handyman stuff, but on like some job sites where we're starting from scratch, there'll be barrels of fires. So you can stay warm and then go over and work and stay warm, go over to work. So just your crew hanging around the warm fire and the fire pit while they're taking their break or whatever. Everybody on lunch break, everybody sitting around with their lunch bucket and having lunch. Just little simple things like this. The day in the life of the contractor, right?
People love the behind the scenes stuff too. I don't know what it is, but they love to see the behind the scenes. And I think that just goes back to the authenticity part too. This isn't a polished, like professional video. It's the behind the scenes of the guys sitting around eating lunch, laughing. but
Yeah.
that's what makes the connection, the human connection with that viewer.
It does. I tell my contractors, you wouldn't believe just like if your van gets messy, like if you're somebody that it gets a little messy and no matter how neat you are, it can get messy,
Hmm.
especially the more busy your week is. Just unload all your supplies and reorganize it and videotape it. They would love to how you got your self back on track and organized and just to see that. They
Hmm.
love stuff like that.
Yeah, I've done that one before too, where you do just a quick little 5-second video showing, like a selfie mode with the messy truck behind you, giving a thumbs down, and
Uh-huh.
then do a thumbs up after it's clean and smiling, and just showing like the before and
Yeah.
after of you cleaning out your truck, like just little things like that. It doesn't have to be anything fancy,
Yeah.
just real.
It is real. You had a mess and it sucked, thumbs down, and you fixed it, thumbs up.
Yep.
And yeah, okay. Okay, so for those who are really nervous, you talked about just doing some practice things to get them comfortable in front of the camera. Maybe just starting with just answering a few simple questions with a friend. Maybe they can stand there and have a friend ask them about their business. When did you start? What do you like most about your business? Any ideas about that?
That's a really good one too. Yeah, just having and you can even use like ChatGPT to just create questions that you want a person to ask you, like an interview style, and like they're off camera asking you and you're just answering them. You can do that. The other thing, like when I'm making content, what I'm thinking in my mind is who am I talking to, and the simpler you can make the content, the stronger it's going to land. And so if I'm doing something where I'm like an educational type content, where I'm making something, I'm picturing that I'm explaining to my daughter how to do this thing. So like in that way, you're putting it into simpler terms, and you're targeting an audience that it's just keeping it simple. Like I said, like if I'm fixing a door handle or something like that, if you're just explaining how you're fixing this door handle, but you're getting too, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. But like
Too
if you're getting it,
techy,
yeah, if
too
you're getting too
technical about
techy,
details.
you're
Yeah.
going to lose people.
Yeah.
But if you're explaining it to a kid, like, "Oh, here's why we're doing this," like keeping it real simple, it's gonna land so much better.
It is. It is. Think about it. They're in their home, they're in their spaces, they feel comfortable to listen to it, no matter how, what it is. And then that makes it even more comfortable for them to listen to and stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's talk about legacy. When people think of home healer handyman, what do you want them to remember about you? Not just your work, but who they trusted.
So for me, that's a really good one. So my faith is what brought me to this point. This from the very start of this business has been grounded on my faith, and so I want people to feel seen, heard, safe when I'm in their house. And so I guess just the way that I carry myself into the house, I'm carrying myself in with just I'm thinking about I'm trying to see them through Jesus' eyes. That's just kind of the way that I do it, and just being a light for them. Being a lot of times when I go into a house, I will hear stories. People open up and share stuff that is just some deep, heavy stuff,
Yeah.
and so just putting myself in that moment without thinking about the work and just being another human person. Like for example, I have there was a lady, an elderly lady, and she had been going through some stuff, some health stuff. And so as soon as I got there, she just started like sharing everything with me about her journey and her struggles and stuff like that. And I just gave her the space and the time to like share that. And we talked to whatever. And I think we both kind of cried a little bit too at one point. Like it was just one of those things. But that connection that you can make with people is really what I want to leave behind as the legacy of the business, because the business is not about me. The home healer handyman, people always say, "Oh, you're the home healer," and I'm like, I'm not the home healer. I'm just his handyman. And I wear the Yahweh hat, so people who know Yahweh, they understand. But yeah, I guess for me, it's the business isn't about me. It's about my clients. It's about just being the light, carrying the light into the house with me. So
Oh, that's wonderful. What a purpose Okay, Eamon, here's a tough question for you. If one of your daughters grows up and starts her own business, what do you hope she takes from watching you show up and be visible?
That's a great question. I think just being able to see how I've grown my business, and just that it's got to be a consistent thing. You're not taking a whole lot of breaks up front at first, to get the ball rolling, but also just to see that you're showing up daily. And I think, hopefully, they've been able to kind of see how it's grown. And I've shared the ups and the downs with them, good months and bad months, like they've seen all of it. So, I think just being there and letting them kind of be a witness to there's going to be rough spots. There's going to be some patches you got to just push through and not give up.
Oh, yeah.
Quitting isn't an option, for me. It's like, this is what I'm doing. And so you got to take the bad with the good and roll with it. So I just hope that they see the persistence and just the passion. I mean, having a business is awesome. It's so much fun, honestly. Like, it's just, I wouldn't want to do anything different.
Me either. It's in my blood. I
Yep.
tried something else, but I've been an entrepreneur since I was 15 years old. I had a photography business. I
Same.
mean, big weddings
Yep.
trusted me as a 15-year-old to do their photography.
My
And I
first
did,
wedding was when I was 14.
oh,
It's
really?
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and I had this great camera. I made a boo boo. Dad bought me a new camera to do, because I started out with a good camera, but so he bought me a new camera and he gave me this advice and I didn't listen. He said, Deanna, you need to take your old camera, your old faithful on this wedding, and what have you. So, well, I didn't listen. Well, I paid for it. But anyway, at 15, and I did all the local ball teams. I had the most cool poses and they, called me to get all their team photos. And this is back, I'm telling my age again, when I had to send my film off to a lab. And
Oh
I
yeah.
sent it up to the lab in New York, and they had these really cool things. I put them in, and yeah, it was really success. And I've had entrepreneurship since 15, so it kind of can be in your blood, can it?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, photography was my first business. Ran that for 20 years, and yeah, it's just fun.
It is. Okay, so before we wrap up, we've got all kind of bonuses for our listeners today. A lot of them are going to ask, how do I start showing up more confident on camera? So we've put together a simple AI prompt that helps you create short, ready-to-use video scripts. You can use it to make quick 5 to 15-second clips, longer posts, or even little one-liners to pair with your before and after. It's a great way to start putting your face and voice behind your business without overthinking it. You can download it right here in the show notes. It's totally free and designed to help you take that first step towards being more visible. Eamon, you are part of a big nationwide kind of handyman mastermind, if you will. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the Handyman Brotherhood, we launched that a couple months ago. Right now we are at just under 70 members, and it's an amazing community. We do live Q&A every Monday, so anybody that has questions can jump in and ask questions. The content we put out there daily is getting a lot of traction. It's getting, one comment turns into a thread, so it's nice because guys are getting real answers in real time, and I love it. Just the overall energy of the room is just amazing. The guys are just incredible, and so yeah, really excited about that. It's just another platform where we can support other small business owners, handymen, getting their journey started, which also includes trainings. We have probably 8 or 9 programs of different trainings, from everything from I just am thinking about getting started with my business all the way up to the $1 million, brand builder, to the 7-figure CEO. Like, there's all kinds of trainings in there. So, it's an awesome community.
That's wonderful. It meets them where they're at,
Yeah.
whether the beginner or that, 8-figure. That's wonderful.
Yep.
And it's at an incredibly low fee too. I don't know how you did that, but anyway. So tell the listeners out there, how should they go about if they're interested in becoming a part of this handyman nation you've got building?
Yeah. So yeah, they can, honestly, probably the best thing is just to find me on Facebook and just send me a DM. Right now it's by invite only. So we're kind of selective on who we're bringing in, just to
That's great.
keep it small, keep it that way as a tight knit community. But
Effective
I'm on
also.
face. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook frequently, and so I mean, just reach out to me, DM me out there, Eamon Medinger, or you can look up Home Healer Handyman Services. Yeah, I love connecting with people on Facebook. So
That's great. Okay. Thank you for coming back, Eamon, and sharing this message. Your proof that visibility isn't just about marketing, it's about leadership. I appreciate that. To everyone listening, listen, you've been hiding behind your logo. Stop it. It's time to step out. The moment you start posting your face, your story, and your message, that's when people start to trust you. So if you want to learn more about how to make visibility and client management simple, check out the Client Edge, my new CRM built for contractors and service-based businesses. It's any business wants to be found locally and manage their clients. The Client Edge, because you can be right on top and make those connections with your clients. It's the system Eamon and I both use to manage our clients' automated follow-ups and stay connected with our audience. Eamon, I can't wait to have you back and share how these automations and these messaging and got those regular customers, because when somebody's been a great customer, having them back again and back again and back again is the best way to do this.
absolutely.
Okay. And finally, Eamon, if you know of a business owner who's ready to be found locally but doesn't know where to start, send them my way.
I'll do
Referrals
that.
are how we keep good businesses visible and trusted
Absolutely.
first. Yeah. So until next time, keep building, keep showing up, and remember, people can't trust what they can't see. So let them see you. Until next time, we'll see you on the Builder's Edge.